Yes, correct. So this Leela is very special because our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with Gadadhar Pandit, who is none other than Srimati Radharani, minus minus Kanti and minus Vama Bhava of Radharani. That's why she is like Rukmini. But Gadadhar Pandit sitting on top of Govardhan in terms of the Chatak Parvat in Jagannath Puri, they were sitting in the most intimate place of Tota Gopinath garden. And sitting there, they would read this pastime, Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, again and again and again. Hmm. So our fortune is we are trying to discuss once here. So see this verse, one of the verses you can see, so much glory is there that one can go on. Yeah. So श्रुत्वैज श्रुत्वैतच्छ्रद्धधा श्रद्धयाभीक्ष्णम् अच्युत प्रियचेष्टितं भवेत् भक्तिर्भगवति यया स्यात् क्लेशसंशयः. So this is one of the Falashruti. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life. So, what is the glory of Bhagavatam? Is there are narrations like this which raise us to the pure devotional platform. And then, after raising to pure devotional platform, we can practice and execute pure devotional practice. Right? And then Kleshagni, Shubhada, and all that. That's what is told. Complete Klesha Samshaya. This is the first step, first effect of practice of pure devotion, as Rupa Goswami has told. But repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand. So that's how it's very essential to discuss again and again. When I was reading this today, then I understood that Mahaprabhu was setting an example for all of us. Krishna and Radharani are discussing about Dhruva Maharaj. Because most of the audience in material world is like Dhruva Maharaj. No? So many desires. So that's why, as the pastimes and activities of Supreme Lord are pleasing to hear, hearing about his devotees who are very dear to the Supreme Person is also pleasing and potent. So, Achyuta Priya Bandavaha, like that is there, na word. Achyuta Priya Cheshtitam means the pastimes of Achyuta Priya, the devotees. They are pleasing and potent, as good as the Lord's activities. The Lord Himself is discussing. If one simply reads over and over again about Dhruva Maharaj, by hearing and reading this chapter, one can attain highest perfection of life in any way he desires. Most importantly, he gets chance to become a great devotee. So even other desires are there, he will attain perfection in that, and he can get the highest destination. Hmm? So that is the glory of this pastime which we are discussing over last few weekends. And as I told that it's a very auspicious time, so here is the verse which I was. Paurnamasyam sinavalyam dvadashyam shravanothava. Dinakshye vyatipate sankrame arkadine piva. Shravayet shaddadananam tirthapadashrayashrayah. Nichhan tatratma atmanam santushta iti siddhi. So see, this is why. Now Shravan only is going on, right? Shravan started recently. So we are discussing in that very month, right? Appearance of Shravan star at the end of Tithi. or on Sunday. See, today is Sunday also. Such recitation should be, of course, be performed before favorable audience. When recitation is performed in this way without professional motive, the reciter and audience become perfect. So I am very far from this professional motive, material, no material motive. Right? So we have to strive to go closer. So it's a great fortune to discuss this pastime over last and concluding today. And that has so much potency actually in this pastime. So much of potency if we are tuned in with our ears, our hearts, and our mind and intelligence. So that's what is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially of this particular section. Over to you now. Some reflections from yesterday. Anyone wants to share for benefit of other Vaishnavas and myself also reminder. Yes, anyone? Yes, Mataji, as usual, please go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Devotees are beggars of blessings.
Yeah, so in
And
which context it was mentioned? And Dhruva Maharaj begged from Kubera, who appears to be a demigod, right?
yeah,
To respect him as well as to remain focused what he wants. So in that context, there is this statement on which Parampaj Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj has written 5 series of books, the beggar series. So we have to become beggar. Beggar.
yeah. And we have to respect everyone because devotee is respectful to everyone, and we uh, we should always uh, try to get blessings from everyone.
Yeah, very true. And blessings every devotee, not just seniors, superiors, exalted devotees, surely, but any other devotees also. So we have to be careful. Yes, Mataji, thank you. Thank you very much for reminding. Anyone else wants to share something? What they remembered from yesterday? Some reflections, some comments, some reminisce. You reminisce something from yesterday. Please think about it. Yes, anyone else? One more devotee at least, please go ahead. Anything which you remember? Yesterday we spent a lot of time for these verses actually, because of they are closely related to the dharma of householders, isn't it? So there was considerable discussion about that. So someone can mention something about that dharma of. Yes, Shiromani Radhika Mataji, you want to say something?
Qualities of Dhruva Maharaj in Shloka number 12.
Shloka number 12. Yes. What was that which you remember from that? Anything specific?
Godly qualities.
Yeah, Tameva Shila Sampannam Brahmanyam Deenavasaram Proktaram Dharmasetanam Nenire Pitaram Praja. Yes, Matu.
He protected religious principles.
Yes. Dharma Setunam Gupta. That's right. Very true. Yes. Anything else? Yes, Mata, you want to say more? Something more? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, devotees means those people who do avidhi purvakam demigod worship are criticized, but here in Bhagavatam we find that some devotees are doing it vidhi purvakam.
Yes.
For example, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj, etc. So they
Bharat
are,
Maharaj.
huh, so they are doing it for as a duty and for the benefit of their praja, and they are delegating it. They are not doing it themselves. So they are engaged in the pure devotional activities only, but they are delegating it as a duty for the benefit of their praja.
Yes, very good. So where it is told in 11th verse, I think, right? 11th verse, where
Yeah,
he had no time
yeah,
for all these things. He was engaged in bhakti.
yeah.
So duty as to the praja. So why not preach directly pure devotion? Why demigod worship? Any particular reason?
Because everybody is not on that platform.
Which platform?
To understand devotional service.
Now, to understand and practice pure devotional service, everyone doesn't have that adhikar or interest or inclination. There are many other inclinations. So the praja is dealt accordingly because those days there was completely cultured society, broken and not broken, rather systematically arranged in varnashrama fashion. So he was doing his duty. Yes, madam. Thank you. That's a good problem. Anything else last about the Grihastha Dharma, which we elaborately discussed? This is all about Dhruva Maharaj. Something about Dharma. Yes, this is necessary. Bhagavatam is teaching us what we are supposed to do. Okay, so let us go ahead. Yes, Mataji, you want to say something more? Yeah, okay, that is previous hand up only.
We have to give like 50% to the for the preaching of Sankirtan movement, and that will keep the Kali at bay.
And what will have? Kali at bay, what is the problem with Kali? Yes. So 50% is one. Actually, one is not to give. Prabhupada said one should, everyone should be taught to sacrifice 50% of the accumulated gold or wealth or whatever. So it is about educating people and not forcing, not pushing, not indirectly demanding, but educating. And why? It is not for the running of the temple, as sometimes thought by people. Actually, temple runs by Vrindavan Chandra or Lord. It is for the purpose of keeping Kali at bay. So what does that mean, keeping Kali at bay? What it means?
The sense of Sankirtan is profound education.
Sankirtan what?
It is Sankirtan Yajna, and the essence of this Sankirtan Yajna is profound education.
Result of Sankirtan Yajna is profound.
Essence of Sankirtan is education.
Yeah, means propagating the spiritual knowledge in the society. So anyone who supports that is the highest act of mercy if he gives for Sankirtan. Yeah. And what I was thinking was Kali, because the four principles will be automatically ensued. We want to practice four regs. Eh? So four regs have four positive aspects. Hmm? Austerity, truthfulness, cleanliness, and mercy. So they will be automatically ensuing in the lives of the community, the family, the nation, or whatever. And then Kali won't enter in the relationships because the greatest pleasure is available in trustworthy, selfless relationships, and the greatest pain is also available in the relationships. So Kali is that which creates that distrust. So that's how Srila Prabhupada is saying, and it's a very essential aspect of yajna. So yajna, dana, tapa. These are never given up by anyone. And dhanam, dhanascha, yajnascha is the dharma for the households, as told in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so let us move further to conclude this chapter today. So, as the section told that now 17 to 35. So, I think we reached where? Mm, I think 18 we reached or 19? Where anyone rules? 18th was, if I'm not wrong, 17 or 18.
18 probably you said that liberated souls are like opponents.
Yeah, so he
Not
Dhruva performed Ashtanga yoga for few days just to respect the yogis around him, and then he was absorbed in Krishna conscious practice. And he experienced Ashtasattvic Vikar. That is 18th verse. Now, further what is there, so we will go little quickly, not much discussion here, till 35. Then there is lot of Falashruti. So then aeroplane comes actually, beautiful aeroplane with two beautiful Nanda and Sunanda, the associates of Lord. And Dhruva offers respect to them. And then Nanda and Sunanda speak four verses 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Hear attentively, Dhruva, what we are telling you. We have come to take you. Let us go to Vishnu Lok. You are worthy, and we have been sent by the Lord. So, like that, they say. And then Dhruva Maharaj responds. So, Dhruva board starts beginning to board aeroplane. He offers respects to them, then he places foot on the head of death. And before going, he remembers his mother. And then the Nanda and Sunanda tell actually she is already there. Right? And on the way, he sees many planets and he reaches Dhruva Loka. So when he is going, he actually offers respects to the sages also and begs their blessings. So this is a qualification to go back to Godhead. That he is beggar of blessings. For him, there is aeroplane who is standing and the sages are there in the metal world. And he is going there and he is begging blessings from the sages. So this is what is happening till 35. Right? So Dhruva's response starts from 28 and it goes till 35. And then there is glories of Dhruva Loka, some description, how it is effulgent, how everyone else is rotating around it in the universe, all the luminaries, all the planets, including sun, moon, and how it enlightens everyone. Actually, because Dhruva Loka is non different than Vaikuntha, actually, Shweta Deepa. One part of it is that. So there it is mentioned who is eligible to attain Lord's Award, 36 and 37, very important verses. And then there is some glories of Dhruva Loka. And then 41 to 43. So the last part of chapter 41 to 43 and 44 to 51. Both are Falashrutis in one sense. Because it is explained that Narad Muni is such a exalted spiritual master and a devotee. He sang the glories of Dhruva Maharaj and his past devotion service in Pracheta's assembly. So there are three verses Narada is speaking 41, 42, 43. And then Maitreya Muni is giving Falashruti from 44 to 52. These are also very, very important verses in which we just now saw one verse. Right? That how repetitive recitation of the story is so powerful. So this is how this chapter is there. So now we are into text 90. Yeah, so this also we saw. Okay. 70, 80, 90. Yes, text 90. So Dhruva has performed, he went to the north, he saw his son qualified, he also left like father. He performed Ashtanga Yoga for few days just to respect the sages around him. He experienced ecstatic symptoms of Ashtasattvikrika. Now what happened further? 19 to 21. He saw aeroplane. सददर्श विमानाग्रम नभसोऽवतर ध्रुवः विभ्राजयद् दश दिशो राकापतिमिवोदितम्. Yes. One would like to volunteer 5 verses.
Shall I read?
Yes, Mataji. Such a Sundar Mataji. Please read.
As soon as the symptoms of his liberation were manifest, he saw a very beautiful airplane coming down from the sky, as if the brilliant full moon were coming down, illuminating all the 10 directions.
It was like moon. Effulgence was soothing like moon. Rakapatim ivori. Vibrajya. The Viman came. So here, really, Prabhupada writes a very important point. The whole thing is based on one word in this. Sadadarsha. So he saw. So there are 5 levels of knowledge. Actually, progressive. So he explains this very important aspect in this particular purport actually. So you can see, so it is technically called like this. Prabhupada is giving the English version. Pratyaksha, Paroksha, Aparoksha, Adhokshaja, Aprakrita. So Prabhupada is titling them like this. You can see it. Direct knowledge, that is Pratyaksha. You see something and learn something. Simply by seeing. Second is knowledge received from authorities. Paro Aksha. Paro Aksha means through their eyes we try to see. Like Bhagavatam, now Maitreya Muni is explaining, or spiritual masters are telling we should see the material world like this. Like we saw in the previous verses that how Dhruva Maharaj saw all his wealth and Antapur and the beautiful consorts and all that to be creation of illusory energy, like phantasmagory. So Paroksha, he could see. If someone comes in front of me, I cannot see. But Paroksha means okay. They see like this, I should strive to see like that. So Pratyaksha, then Paroksha. Knowledge received from authorities or seeing through their eyes. Right? So when we hear from them, serve them, surrender to them, inquire from them, please them. So you can reach to the next stage, transcendental knowledge. What is that? Aparoksha. Aparoksha means you are able to see now by the blessings of book Bhagavad and person Bhagavad. However, that is not enough. Then, not just one tries gets the vision, now he gets the Lord's experience or vision beyond the senses, adhokshaja, right? Savai pungsam paro dharma, yato bhaktir adhokshaja. Adha akshaja means the knowledge is transcendental, or I would not say transcendental, knowledge beyond senses actually. So transcendental is beyond 3 modes, it can be Brahman also. So beyond senses knowledge is Atindriyam. So it can be Brahman, but it is beyond. Right? So like knowledge of the Supreme Lord and his form. Atah Shri Krishna Navadi na bhavet grahyam indriya. So that which comes through Sevan Mukhe hi Jivada. Or Shamanadi Siddha Chitte Koriye Udai. So that is Adhokshaja. So and then highest is Aprakrita. That is the knowledge, complete revelation of spiritual world and pastimes. The way Prabhupada is able to see, or the pure devotees who are at the level of Bhava and Prema. So this is the different levels of acquired knowledge. So it is acquired. The name itself is acquired, means it's not about just one's own endeavor, right? So it's based on Tadvidhi Pranipad Paripashna Seva. So Prabhupada explains this only in the rest of the purport, which can be read. Yes, Madhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. When one surpasses the stage of acquiring knowledge by the descending process, he is immediately situated on the transcendental platform. Dhruva Maharaj, being liberated from the material concept of life, was situated in transcendental knowledge and could perceive the presence of a transcendental airplane which was as brilliant as the full moonlight. This is not possible in the stages of direct or indirect perception of knowledge. Such knowledge is a special favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can, however, rise to this platform of knowledge by the gradual process of advancing in devotional service or Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So what he could see was not just possible to be seen by any Taundic head. So this vision is not possible in pratyaksha or paroksha, direct or indirect. Pratyaksha paroksha, it is beyond that. Aparoksha, adhoksha, basically. That's what is being said. So by descending process means tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. That's the method. So, and it is a special favor of the Lord. It is not to be attained by intelligence and skills and abilities to analyze, etc. And how can bhaktya mam abhijan? By doing pure devotional service. So that's what Prabhupada is bringing out, a very unique thing. No Acharya writes this aspect. But Prabhupada is encouraging us that we want to see this, then this is the way we see. That's why we say actually that advancement in Krishna consciousness means progressive in our perception of this world. So Chakshudan Dilojai Janme Janme Prabhu. Guru gives vision. Post position followers is not advancement necessarily. What you are seeing in this world, that is what is so progress. What you are seeing, what you are experiencing. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Text 20. तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ तत्रानुदेव प्रवरौ चतुर्भुजौ श्यामौ किशोरावरुणाम्बुजक्षणौ स्थितावष्टभ्यगदां सुवाससौ किरीटहारादचकारुकुण्डलौ. Yeah, please read.
Dhruva Maharaj saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plain. They had four hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, and earrings.
Yeah. So the beautiful vision is explained after the aeroplane beauty, and it was soothing like moonlight, but now the personalities are there. So it's like Brahman was there. Now he is seeing more closer. Okay, there are Vishnu Dutas who are so beautiful, so youthful, and so wonderful to see. So even Ajamil could get this vision by their mercy, by the chanting, offenseless and helpless chanting of the holy name, rather addressing his son. So he also got this vision. Even the Yamdutas were feeling so beautiful these people are. Yeah, text 21. So Prabhupada is saying it's clear. This is the description of spiritual world. Vijnayata uttamagaya kinkara अभ्युत्थितः साध्वसं विस्मृतिक्रमः ननामनामानि गुणन् मधुद्विषः पाश्चात्प्रधानावति सहताञ्जलिः. Yeah, please read translation.
Dhruva Maharaj, seeing that these uncommon personalities were direct servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately stood up. But being puzzled in hastiness, he forgot how to receive them in the proper way. Therefore, he simply offered obeisances with folded hands and chanted and glorified the holy names of the Lord.
Yeah, so very interesting this question. Well, Dhruva Maharaj was not kind of thinking about this kind of thing. So being puzzled, he could understand Vijnaya Tau Uttamagaya Kinkaro. Uttamagaya means one who is glorified by excellent poetry or what. He understood and he got up. And Sadvasa Vismrita Kramaha. That now he's wondering how I can welcome them, how I can do Adaratithya, guest reception. So he was thinking what to do. He was alone, all alone in forest, right? So he was kind of puzzled. So Vismrita Kramaha. He forgot the proper etiquette to respect them. So what he did? Nanama. He offered obeisances and he resorted to the greatest welcoming way, that is Namani Grinan Madhutvisha. So he just chanted Jai Narayan, like that Vishwanath says that. Jai Narayan, Jai Gopa, Jai Govinda, like that. No? So out of confusion, he forgot the sequence of worship. So he just chanted the holy name towards the them and Krita Anjali, some Samhata Anjali, with folded hands. So this is how he respected them. So Prabhupada writes about the glory of the holy name. So he was puzzled. He could understand, but at the time being, he was puzzled that my Lord, directly Lord's associates have come. And Prabhupada writes the glory of holy name. Yeah, please read this portion, the chanting. This portion.
The chanting of the holy name of the Lord is perfect, even though one does not know how to please Lord Vishnu or his associates. Simply by sincerely chanting the holy name of the Lord, everything becomes perfect. A devotee, therefore, either in danger or in happiness, constantly chants the Hare Krishna mantra.
Yeah. So actually, the same thing is spoken by even the Durvas Muni. Mantradastantradaschidram desha kalarthavasthuna sarvam karoti nichidram anusankirtanam tava. So Bali Maharaj was sent to Sutalok and whole scene happened in its canto. Then Lord was just intrigued and he thought that I will ask Shukracharya that what was the discrepancy and the mistake of your disciple by which you acted in this way. And then Shukracharya replies, Shukracharya is a very exalted person. So he replies with this verse. That my dear Lord, what discrepancy can remain in any sacrifice where your holy names are chanted? Hmm? All the mistakes or the discrepancies, mantra in chanting mantra, in doing some tantra, mantratah tantratah chidram, and even desha kala vastu. In yajna, actually, these things are very, very strictly followed. But even if there is some chidra, some mistake, sarvam karoti nichidram. Everything is nichidra, becomes perfect. Anu sankirtanam tava. Same thing. Sincerely, simply by sincerely chanting. Right. So even if we don't know, so that is the power of this holy name which every day we chant. But I pray that we understand this glory, such a glorious thing which Prabhupada has given. It's very difficult to understand the power of that. तं कृष्णपादाभिविनिविष्टचेतसं बद्धाञ्जलिं प्रशयनं सुनन्दनन्दावपुसृत्य सस्मितं प्रत्यूचतुः पुष्करनाभसम्मतौ. Yeah, is it?
Dhruva Maharaj was always absorbed in thinking of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. His heart was full with Krishna. When the two confidential servants of the Supreme Lord, who were named Nanda and Sunanda, approached him, Smilingly, happily, Dhruva stood with folded hands, bowing humbly. They then addressed him as follows.
Yeah. So Dhruva Maharaj is also told to be completely absorbed. Tam Krishna Padhabhinivishta Chetasa. He was completely absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna. And then he folded hands with very prashraya namra kandaram. He bowed down to them, Nanda and Sunanda, and approaching them with great smiling and happiness. Then they spoke to him. Tat- Tatyut Chatuhu addressed, and they are Pushkara Nabha Sammato, confidential sir. So they spoke to him when he offered respect. So this is about his absorption. So Prabhupada writes about that one. Pushkara Nava Sammatau means Lord Vishnu is known for his lotus eyes, lotus navel, lotus feet, and lotus paw. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namo Pankajamali Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajanga. So who has a lotus navel? And Sammatau means two confidential or very obedient servants. So Pushkara Nava Sammatau means his people. Right? So his people are very special. So that's why they are also similar to them. And asammata means disagreeable. In Vaikuntha world, all the living entities are in oneness with the Supreme Lord, but they never defy his orders. Here in the material world, however, they are not sammata, agreeable, but always asammata, disagreeable. That's why we are here. So oneness is oneness of interest and oneness of uh, servitude. Right? So that's what is Prabhupada is explaining here. Lastly, he writes very nicely. The example of Dhruva Maharaj. Yeah, please read this portion last. The example.
The example of Dhruva Maharaj is very fitting. Simply by becoming agreeable to the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and by developing love of Godhead, Dhruva got the chance to personally meet the confidential servants of Lord Vishnu face to face. What was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. Anyone who very seriously engages in devotional service can obtain in due course of time the same perfection of the human form of life.
So Prabhupada is telling us what to do. So very seriously, like Dhruva Maharaj did very seriously. So now 23 to 27, they are going to speak. Sunandananda Vichatuhu भो भो राजन् सुभद्रं ते वाचं नो वहितः शृणु यः पञ्चवर्षतपसा भवान् भवान् देवमतृप्त अतृप्त. Yes, please read.
Nanda and Sunanda, the two confidential associates of Lord Vishnu, said, Dear King, let there be all good fortune unto you. Please attentively hear what we shall say. When you were only 5 years old, you underwent severe austerities and you thereby greatly satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
They are Shrunushva, what they are saying? Avahitah Shrunu, Vacham. Please hear our words very attentively. Great auspiciousness to them. And then they are glorifying Dhruva. Yes. So what was possible for Dhruva Maharaj is possible for everyone. So Prabhupada again and again is kind of encouraging everyone. So good fortune means he will attain the destination in this very body. That's what is told here. And that's how the speciality of Dhruva Maharaj goes like this one. So this training actually, this is what is important. Prabhupada writes in his preface of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he appeals that this Bhagavatam is solution to all kinds of problems which are happening currently. Social, political, economical, and uh, you know among countries and unity and all that. And he says that this Bhagavatam is created for completely overhauling the society and re-spiritualizing the society, and it can make everyone very happy. And then he says Kamaram Acharit Pradhan, and he says that actually Bhagavatam should be taught in every school and college and university of this world. Then things will be better. Same thing he's telling it. And he's specifically telling about the proper training in the initial days. A 5-year-old child, right, in a very short time, becomes successful. Unfortunately, this training is lacking in all over the world. It is necessary for leaders of Krishna consciousness movement to start educational institute in different parts of world to train children at the age of 5 years. Thus, the children will not become hippies or spoiled children of society. Rather than they can all become devotees of the Lord. The face of world would change automatically. So how much faith Prabhupada has and how much he is repetitively telling this in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, that start the traditional system of training. So what is mentioned here is, isn't it? It is a Gurukul thing only, right? Where you will have education. It's not a part-time school or like 5-year-old and proper training. So start educational institution, he say. Not a day school, he say. Understand what I'm saying? Day school is something which is done for few day school or home school, whatever you say. Prabhupada is not talking about that. Prabhupada is very clearly saying that it is an educational institution and everywhere, not in India, to train the children. So this is the youth pitching strategy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. Where the lust has not awakened, the puberty has not come. Before that, you give the right thing. You know? So we have to think this for the future generations. Although unfortunately we didn't get means many of us did not get this at right time, right? At the age of 5. I was 20 years late. And that 20 years late has causing so much of problem. Because all the unnecessary things are going inside. So how can Krishna go inside? So it's very essential to do this. So this is Srila Prabhupada appealing to us, appealing to the leaders. Actually, today, so this is very important aspect. Srila Prabhupada, he says 50% of my mission is remaining. So this is all that only. Varnashrama, Varnashrama establishment, Varnashrama college and Gurukul. So without this, person has to undergo the horrible occupations and horrible education of current system. So that is extremely harmful and sinful and dissatisfying. So it's very very uncongenial to practice Krishna consciousness. Their lifestyle is dangerous. Their activities are very dangerous. So unless we do this for our children or our community children, we are not doing what Prabhupada wants here. So this is very important aspect here Prabhupada is appealing to us. So just a second. So today morning only I was asking this question. So Prabhupada only gave the answer. Prabhupada is directly appealing to the leaders. So this is what verse 4.12.23. Text 24. Tasyakhila Jagat. Hare Krishna. Yes, someone is saying something. तस्याखिल जगद्धातुर आवाम देवस्य साग्नः पार्षदौ इह संप्राप्तो नेतुं त्वं भागवत पदम्. Now someone else can read some verses. Want to volunteer? Yes, Shiromani Radhakrishnan, you want to?
Yes, Prabhuji. We are representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the creator of the whole universe, who carries in his hand the bow named Sharanga. We have been specifically deputed to take you to the spiritual world.
So very clearly they are saying that why we have come. Right? So Janma Karma Cha Me Divyam Evam Yovetti Tattvadah Tattvadeha Punarjanma Naiti. Prabhupada quotes that one. Simply by knowing transcendental pastime. In truth, factually who is he, why he appears, he can be transferred to spiritual world. So this is the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says. Yeah, text 25. Sudurjayam Vishnu Padam Jitam Tvaya Yat Suryo Prapya Vichakshati Param Atishtatat Chandra Diva Karadayo Grahashataraha Paryanti Dakshinam.
To achieve Vishnu Loka is very difficult, but by your austerity you have conquered. Even the great rishis and demigods cannot achieve this position. Simply to see the supreme abode, the Vishnu planet, the sun and moon, and all the other planets, stars, lunar mansions, and solar systems are circumambulating it. Now, please come. You are welcome to go there.
So clear experience of Dhruva Maharaj, right? So such kind of going back to Godhead is detailed described in this pastime. Many other places it is told that they went back to God. But here, what all things are happening. So Prabhupada punches on the scientists that they are trying to go to spy and so many some men. See, scientists, he's putting all of them together. Scientists, philosopher, and mental speculators, impersonals. They want to enter the spiritual sky, but they can never go there. But here is very nicely written. Yeah, please read this post.
From even
But a devotee.
Okay, but a devotee, by executing devotional service, not only realizes what the spiritual world actually is, but factually goes there to live an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. The Krishna consciousness movement is so potent that by adopting these principles of life and developing love for God, one can very easily go back home, back to Godhead.
Yeah. So see, my spiritual master was saying in one lecture that actually it's not that we physically go back to God. Surely we go. But before that, we attain that consciousness while in this body of spiritual world. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. But one realizes, not only realizes what spiritual world actually is, so that requires Vaikuntha thinking, Vaikuntha interaction, Vaikuntha consciousness. So Prabhupada has created these embassies here. Today, Sriman Rasparan Prabhu was very beautifully explaining actually how Prabhupada has created this. So Prabhupada's third or fourth ancient statement, like yesterday was incorporation of. So he said to erect a place dedicated to pastimes of Krishna, a holy place dedicated to pastimes of Krishna. So he is not calling a temple, erect a temple dedicated to Krishna. That would have been the mission statement. But he is writing, erecting a holy place which is meant for pastimes of Krishna. So this is what temple is, according to Prabhupada. So in temple, this kind of thing is expected. All the more from every one of us actually, whosoever who are directly or indirectly the temple residents, right? So it's very important that this is what we realize. Our main purpose is this experience. And then go also there. So that is what is the whole purpose of Krishna consciousness movement is this one. So very important. Devotees have no interest in seeing other planets, but while going back to Godhead, they see all of them as a passing phases. Just as one who is going to a distant place passes through many small stations. So this is another thing. If someone has not realized and he happens to go, so one will get attracted and then immediately will get down there because he gets attracted. But he doesn't get attracted because he understands it's all. While being in this body, he can understand the experiences and futility of entire 14 worlds. That's what Bhavadanand Saraswati is praying, right? Hmm. Kaivalyam narakayati tidashakapura akasha pushpayati. Then, yesterday we discussed it. So our interest, our inclination, our taste, our all that has to change here while in this body, right? Our consciousness. And then we will be able to see all this and not get affected by it. 26. Anasthitam te pitrubhi अन्यैर अपि अंगकर्हिचित् आतिष्ठ जगतं वन्द्यं तद्विष्णुः परमं padam.
Dear King Dhruva, neither your forefather nor anyone else before you ever achieved such transcendental planet. The planet known as a Vishnu Loka, where Lord Vishnu personally resides, is the highest of all. It is worshipable by the inhabitants of all other planets within the universe. Please come with us and live there eternally.
Yeah. Eternally you live. So like that they are requesting. So this is the nature of their Lord is there and devotees are there and there is loving action. So Prabhuji was quoting Bhakti Tirth Maharaj saying that our temples are like embassies of spiritual world. So means what? There are interactions. So he was telling very nicely that the language which devotees speak among each other is language of gratitude, language of respect. And the ornaments they wear are what? The Vaishnava qualities or the Shishtachar, the way they behave. Vaishnava Shishtachar, the ornaments of the Vaishnava. And the ahar, everyone has to eat, that is Shravan and Kirtan, of the glories of the Lord and his devotees. And the activities are Katha, Ganam, Natyam, Gamanapi, Vamshi, Priya Satyana. And their pleasure is what? Loving relationship, Madhur Sambandh. So this is what is expected. So Srila Bhaktitirth Maharaj says that actually the place where we stay is environment of love. Actually, I would read that. It's very eye-opening when I read that. I just try to read that. So this is quoted by Bhakti Dhir Damodar Swami Maharaj, quoting his Guru Maharaj. So it's very enlightening. I'm just seeing that quickly, if I can show you. And he says it is like a yes, I got it. Sure. The person who wrote Beggar series, he is writing this series. We are speaking a big philosophy that we want to go to Krishna, but we don't know how to relate with each other. Very profound statement. Then how will relate with Krishna? The Bhakti Tirth Swami says, this environment is a school of love. So wherever we are, the school of love. So Krishna has arranged it for all of us. Whosoever are our authorities, whosoever are our colleagues, whosoever are our friends, whosoever are around us, our family members, or our neighbors, or our service partners, or whatever. It's all environment of this. Krishna has arranged it for all of us to practice how we are going to relate with Him ultimately. So if we do not do it here, we should know that we are not going there. So it's very heavy actually to even read this, right? So it's really very important to value. Actually, recently, I was saying that I was there in the conference of brahmacharis. 450, 500 brahmacharis were together in GV. So Param Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was speaking that we compromise on personal relationships because of the managerial relationships. Because we have institution and all that, and it will be there, and Prabhupada wants it to spread. However, we should not compromise on personal relationships because that's the essence. That's what here Param Pujya Bhakti Tirth Maharaj is saying. So it was very eye-opening for me. So I'm trying to at least reflect on it. Otherwise, we can't go. Right? We like I think who was telling, I think Mahatma Prabhu was saying, if you can't forgive anyone, in a, like he was saying, if you go to spiritual world, you will see a person and they will see you and both will feel, hey, अरे ये कैसे इधर आ गया? So he was saying out of, so we can't have any tinge of negativity about anyone in this world because everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. What to speak of devotee? So we have to do some work on that. One side we want to outreach and preach and bring new people, but we should never neglect the current devotees who are already devotees, which we are seeing and dealing. Actually, temple like us, it's very difficult actually. So many devotees, Ito Narsimha, Ito devotee, Parto devotee, Yato Yato Yami, everywhere there are devotees. So sometimes it happens that we don't have that value actually. So many devotees. But that's what is very important. So going further. So Prabhupada in this now few future purports, he will tell one thing repetitively. You can see here also he is saying Karmi Gani Yogi. So Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ataya Vashna. So they will never attain this position. That's what. So Prabhupada writes this in many purports. I just mentioned here. So here the associates of Lord Vishnu reminded him that not only his forefathers but everyone else before him was unable to attain Vishnu Loka, the planet where Lord Vishnu resides. This is because everyone within this material world is either Karmi, Jnani or Yogi, but they are hardly any pure devotee. The transcendental planet known as Vishnu Loka is especially meant for devotees, not for Karmi, Jnani, Yogis. So it's very clear that one has to become pure devotee. So why not start today? Why to wait? Strive. Great rishis or demigods can hardly approach Brahmalok, and it's stated in Bhagavad Gita. And that is also a Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Okay? So only, except for those who go to Vishnu Loka, everyone is subjected to death. And that's a Prabhupada. By material calculation, one who travels at the speed of light would take 40,000 years to reach the topmost planet. By mechanical process, we are unable to reach topmost planet of universe. But the process called Bhakti Yoga as executed by Dhruva Maharaj can give one facility not only to reach other planets within this universe, but also to reach beyond this universe. We have outlined this in our small booklets, Riddhi Dharni to other planets. So Prabhupada, this was the first book he wrote because people are so much interested, right, to go to other planets. So that is the case. So, traveling. So Prabhupada is punching on scientists also. Text 27. एतद्विमानप्रवरम् उत्तमश्लोकमौलिना उपस्थापितम् आयुष्मान् अधिरोढुं त्वमर्हसि. Please you continue.
So the screen is not visible.
Yes.
O immortal one, this unique airplane has been sent by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is worshipped by selected prayers and who is the chief of all living entities, you are quite worthy to board such a plane.
Yeah. So here they are saying Ayushman. Ayushman means Jug Jug Jiyo. Oh immortal one. Like that they are asking. Means what? That he will go in this very body he will go. So this is the speciality of Dhruva Maharaj. It is called Kapota Vayu. Kapota. So Ka means outer space, Pota means ship. There is second process also called Kapot Vayu. Kapot means pigeon. One can train pigeons to carry into outer space. The third process is very subtle. It's called Akash Patan. This Akash Patan system is also material. Just as mind can fly anywhere one likes without mechanical arrangement, so the Akash Patan airman can fly. Beyond Akash Patan is the Vaikuntha process, which is completely spiritual. So he's telling different levels of travel. So going to outer space, there are three ways to go to outer space. And but this was coming from spiritual world. The airplane sent by Lord Vishnu to carry Dhruva Maharaj to Shishumara was completely spiritual, transcendent. So this Shishumara is nothing but the dolphin fish, which is a luminaries arranged in that shape actually, on which they meditate. In fifth canto, you learn this, and that rotates from Dhruva planet. Right? So it's a spiritual world only. Material scientists can neither see such vehicles nor imagine how they fly in air. The material scientists have no information about spiritual sky, although mentioned in Purana. It's punching, they can never see these things. It was spiritual airplane, that's why he could see. So we see here in Tukaram Maharaj case, here very near from here, 30 kilometers. There also similar thing happened. However, the speciality in one sense was all the people could see him sitting and going, in airplane. At least it is described that Tukaram Maharaj is describing, this plane is coming, the four-handed forms are there. No, there are Abhanga who is describing that. I am not very sure about others, but there were a lot of people assembled there, that is very sure. And the same description. So these are the experiences. This happened long back, this happened very recently. Now, so Nanda Sunanda spoke, now Maitreya is speaking. Nishamma Vaikunthaniyo Jamukshayo Madhuchutam Vachamurukrama Priya Kritabhishekah Kritanithyamangalo Munim Pranamya Shishamabhyavadayat. Please read.
The great sage Maitreya continued. Maharaj Dhruv was very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he heard the sweet speeches of the Lord's chief associates in the Vaikuntha planet, he immediately took his sacred bath, dressed himself with suitable ornaments, and performed his daily spiritual duties. Thereafter, he offered his respectful obeisances to the great sages present there and accepted their blessings.
Yeah. So this is how a Vaishnava's conscious. The Prabhupada flubs that very beautifully. That he was not puffed up. Please read this last question.
Since Dhruv Maharaj was living at that time at Badrikashram, there were other great sages there. He did not become puffed up because the aeroplane sent by Lord Vishnu was waiting for him. As a humble Vaishnava, he accepted blessings from all the sages before riding on the plane brought by the chief of the Vaikuntha associates.
Yeah. So this is the main quality. Anyone who is going closer to Lord, he will naturally have this quality. So that is one thing. And Prabhupada glorifies the dutifulness of Dhruva Maharaj. So he is not, delighted that, for me it came, now, because he was there with sages. So he immediately offered respects to them, begged for blessings. And before that, what he did Achman and all. No? So Prabhupada is writing that. He constantly alert in performance of devotional duty. Everyone should take his bath early in the morning and decorate his body with tilak. Prabhupada is telling that. So this is what actually is, as we progress in this age of Kali, these foundational principles are not possible for people to follow. That's what Prabhupada is telling. That, have this varnashrama system and your own occupations. Otherwise, person will not have, it's not possible to follow fundamental principles. Then what kind of chanting will be there? It will be just counting it. Hmm. So it's a very difficult thing. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here, that dutifulness. So whatever devotional service we do, it has to be done with that, beginning with dutifulness. हरित्याभर्चधिष्णाग्रं पार्षदाभिवन्द्य च ईष्य तदधिष्ठातुं बिभ्रद्रूपं हिरण्मयम्. This translation.
Before getting aboard, Dhruva Maharaj worshipped the airplane, circumambulated it, and also offered obeisances to the associates of Vishnu. In the meantime, he became as brilliant and illuminating as molten gold. He was thus completely prepared to board the transcendental plane.
Yeah, so see how much he has respect for even Tadiya, because this aeroplane is also Tadiya of Lord, right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that what he did. He circled the plane and worshipped the plane by offering something. Right? Offering flowers, and he is saying something also, he shows. Bhagavad Vimanaya Namaha. Assuming a golden form he desired to. So that is his respectful disposition. So that is, so Prabhupada elaborates this and he punches on Mayavadis. Their oneness is useless. It's completely, they can become transcendental. The three modes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo, have no entrance into temple. It is said therefore that to live in the forest is mode of goodness, to live in the city is mode of passion, and to live in the brothel, liquor shop, is slaughterhouse is the mode of ignorance. But to live in the temple means to live in Vaikuntha. Everything in the temple is as worshipable as Vishnu. So such a exalted consciousness Prabhupada is telling here. So what it means, because he is saying, Bhagavad Vimanaya Namaha. So that here only Prabhupada is saying. As soon as we are in temple, we should know very well that we are situated differently from material. Wow, it's so powerful statement. So everything, Tadiya is also transcendental. So Prabhupada's conviction and experience is very high. So I was reminded of one incident which Srimad Radheshyam Prabhu was narrating once. So there is something like foot switch, right? So foot switches are there nowadays. So those days also it was there. So Radheshyam Prabhu, I think it was there in some base or in temple. So foot switch, he used the foot in those initial days. And then Param Puja Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, that time Sriman Devamrit Prabhu, he was telling, how can you do that? This is temple. Food switch might be food switch, but this is not a food switch of any home. This is temple. We have to do it by hand. So that was the consciousness of Devamrit Prabhu. That time. You can imagine. So, and he was glorified by his Guru Maharaj, saying that our Devamrit Prabhu is our Madhavendra Puri. So he was such a glorious personality, which many of us might have heard about. So I was, just by hearing his lectures, I was wondering who is this person I want to see. Such a personality. So they have such consciousness, very exalted actually. They are not, imagine that Tadiyas are dealing so respectfully, how hard to speak of devotees, right? So chatai and all are there in temple, asanas, or whatever it is. We have to be very careful. Yeah, please read the. Now someone else can read translations. 30 onwards. You want to volunteer? Yes, Sachin Paul.
When Dhruva Maharaj was attempting to get on the transcendental plane, he saw death personified approach him. Not caring for death, however, he took advantage of the opportunity to put his feet on the head of death, and thus he got up on the airplane, which was as big as a house.
Yeah. So imagine now the size of airplane is being told. It was like huge. So I was just thinking actually in our temple here also, there also, how fortunate are the cleaning employees, right? They are cleaning, they don't know what they are doing in one sense. In Kunjbihari temple, all of us before this temple were fortunate to do that cleaning in the morning itself. There were no employees in the temple hall at least. I'm talking about. Hmm? So morning we'll do that, every one of us, 3, 4 years. But now all this, so they're so fortunate what they're doing there. Everything is special. Right? So now the description of aeroplane is there. To take passing away of a devotee and passing away of a non-devotee as one and same is completely misleading. Prabhupada is beginning this purport. So you see the difference here. So very completely different. Then he elaborates about this. People with poor fund of knowledge do not know the difference between death of devotee and death of non-devotee. So cat example is given. Cat catching rat and his son, etc. And he punches on scientists. They create material aeroplane. But what happens to airplane sometimes? Recently something happened, right? So one mistake was there and then finished. 235 people. Very difficult. And Kardam Muni also made such plane. Prabhupada is quoting all that. No? So Prabhupada, as soon as he gets chance, scientists and Mayavads. So scientists are like the priest of current time, right? And Mayavadis are also like that. So Prabhupada is writing about that, about the plane again, more. Yeah, 30 for translation. Continue.
At that time, drums and kettle drums resounded from the sky. The chief Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers like torrent of rain upon Dhruv Maharaj.
Yeah. Further, 32.
Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was just about to start. When he remembered his poor mother, Suniti, he thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikunt planet and leave behind my poor mother?
Yeah, so Prabhupada is such a wonderfully writing. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshan Sunitim Jananim Dhruvaha Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Yasya Trivishtakam. How can I go? So this is his gratitude. He's clearly remembering that this is all credit goes to my mother. Right? So that is actually Suniti's position is not so much glorified, but all glories of Dhruva and more are to be given to Suniti actually. Because she was in such a state of consciousness. You know, as Prabhupada says to Kunti Maharani, the most intelligent woman. Suniti is the most intelligent mother or co-wife, you can say. So she guided Dhruva. So Dhruva is feeling obligation of his mother, Prabhupada is writing. So here Prabhupada writes a very powerful thing. Please read from here. Yeah, please read this portion.
He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was the Pathapradarshak Guru. Path Pradarshak Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is a no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Siksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaja's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka, but Dhruva Maharaj thought of his mother.
Yes, actually, there's a very important principle is being spoken here. So there is someone called Patha Pradarshak Guru, like a beginner, right? But sometimes that becomes Shiksha Guru, Prabhupada is saying. So one who continuously teaches also, right? Shiksha, one who gives Shiksha. So actually, Param Pujya Halda Swami Maharaj, when he came to Pune, so he was speaking this. Now I am clearly understanding. He used these terminologies. That Suniti is acting as the ideal Shiksha Guru. Because anyone who is coming to her, she is directing them and increasing their faith on bhakti. She did speak a word of criticism about other Suruchi, right? Rather, she said what Suruchi said is correct. And you follow what she said. So this is the verse, this kind of response or that verse he said that should be put by every Shiksha Guru or guide or mentor, counselor, whatever you say. Not that someone comes to you and says he's disturbed and you say, correct, that person is like that, that person is like that. This is not right behavior. Such a deep thing what Parampuraja Haldar Maharaj said, and that's what is given here. Actually. Now coming to the point of the Siksha Guru principle, actually even inanimate object can teach us if we are receptive. Like 24 Gurus are there in 11 canto. However, what Chaitanya Charitamrita Prabhupada is quoting here is, according to Shastric injunction, that is Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Generally, Shiksha Guru later on becomes Diksha Guru. Right? So, what is this? So, this Shiksha Guru is not just counselor, mentor, facilitator, guide. No. This non-difference means they are perfected devotees. It is not probation. Srila Prabhupada says very clearly that they are Prakash of Nityananda Prabhu. So they are not sadhakas. They are exalted Vaishnavas. That's why they are non-different. Only their function is little different. So this, what is mentioned here is Shiksha Guru, who is non-different than Diksha Guru. He deserves respect that much only. That is someone who is perfected person. And there can be other Shiksha Guru in practice, I would say. They are, and this is Prabhupada's language I am using. Prabhupada, actually Paramahansa Gopal Krishna Maharaj asked this question to Srila Prabhupada. That actually see the Vaishnavatva of this personality, no? Paramahansa Gopal Krishna Goswami. He's asking his Guru Maharaj, beloved Guru. My dear Prabhupada, I don't want to offend anyone, but can the preachers of our society call them Shiksha Gurus or Diksha Gurus? Call themselves? This is the question Paramahansa Gopal Krishna Maharaj is asking his Guru Maharaj. Then Prabhupada replies, everyone is in the process of becoming Shiksha Guru. But unless they attain perfection, we cannot call them like that. And then he says, like an example, someone who is in probation period. Right? Probation means what? So not probation, yeah. Once he completes that period, then he is called an employee, right? Similarly, Prabhupada says, unless they attain perfection, it is not proper to call them Shiksha Guru because it is harmful. So this is all Srila Prabhupada. So we have to be very clear about these concepts, whom to respect, how much, and Devonatha Yathaya. So here it is, what are their functions and what they should be doing. It's very clearly mentioned. And Maharaj was saying that actually Suniti sent him to Diksha Guru. Actually, Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. She sent to Krishna, and Krishna made arrangement sending Narada. And he accepted. Narada tested. So Narada is going to test. So Diksha Guru will test. Then he gave him the process by which he attained. So this is what we are supposed to do. Right? And interestingly, Prabhupada is commenting about the very difficult and controversial is not the best word to use, but the subject matter of female Diksha Guru. So Prabhupada is writing here that Suniti didn't become. Okay? Yes. We're going further. Yeah, please read the translation. Continue.
The great associates of Vaikuntha Loka, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaja, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another plane.
Yeah. So where Prabhupada brings amazing. This incident proves that Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru who has a disciple who strongly executes devotional service like Dhruva Maharaj can be carried by the disciples even though the instructor is not advanced. This is a very, very deep principle actually. Although Suniti was instructor, she could not go to the forest because she was woman, neither execute austerities. Still, Maharaj was still he could take. Right? Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada is saying. So the conclusion is that a disciple or an offspring who is very strong devotee can carry with him to Vaikuntha Loka either his father, mother, or Shiksha or Diksha Guru. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, if I could perfectly deliver even one soul back to Godhead, I would think my mission, propagating Krishna consciousness, is successful. The Krishna consciousness movement is spreading now all over the world, and sometimes I think that even though I am crippled in many ways, if one of my disciples becomes as strong as Dhruva Maharaj, then he will able to carry me with him to Vaikuntha Loka. So this is heart of our dear founder Acharya. See how humble is he, how many people he has sent back to Godhead. Before, like, for Sriman Jayanand Prabhu, there are some devotees who left before also, right? Very exalted people. But he see his consciousness, following footsteps of Guru Maharaj. I am crippled in so many ways, he said. Right? So this is not just to write. So this is his hearty feeling. This is the Vaishnava, very, very exalted. And if we try to please this personality or such personalities who are genuine, pure, unalloyed Vaishnavas, that is the success. Yeah. Text 34, please read translation.
While Dhruva Maharaj was passing through space, he gradually saw all the planets of the solar system, and on the path he saw all the demigods in their airplanes showering flowers upon him like rain.
So he saw all that. So the demigods, they understand. Actually, they have so much of respect because they have this vision, right? So actually, when someone chants Hare Krishna, begins to chant Hare Krishna, Brahmaji starts making Madhupark for that person. That is his respect for devotional service. Because he knows that now and then he is going to go. So now they are actually offering respect here. So Prabhupada writes here, by going to the planet of Supreme Lord, one can know all the Anidari planetary systems on the path to Vaikuntha. Right? So this is again and again told actually, right? That you see everything else while going. So, Yasmin Vijnate Sarvameva Vijnatam Bhavan. So by knowing the Supreme Lord, pleasing and realizing and seeing the Supreme Lord, everything else becomes Nara. We should remember that Dhruva Maharaj's body was different from our body. So his body became, while boarding to Vaikuntha plane, his body changed to completely spiritual golden form. No one can surpass higher planets in a material body. But when one gets spiritual body, he can travel not only to the higher planetary system of material world, but even to still higher planetary system as Vaikuntha Loka. So like Narada Muni and so many others, they can go, right? See, Narada Muni can go to spiritual world also and material world, but there are other sages who can wander in material world only. There are differences like that. So Prabhupada is writing. It should be noted that while Suniti was going to Vaikuntha, she also changed her body into spiritual. Okay, Prabhupada is clarifying further. Every mother should train her child to become devotee like Dhruva Maharaj. Suniti instructed even at the age of 5. Be unattached to worldly affairs and go to the forest to search out the Supreme Lord. She never desired her son to remain at home comfortably without ever undertaking austerities and penances to achieve the favor of Supreme Lord. Every mother like Suniti must take care of her son and train him to become a brahmachari from age of 5 years and undergo austerities and penances for spiritual realization. My Lord, see, Prabhupada is teaching now not just the leaders, but the mothers also. And this is the training. Kaumaram Achare Prajna. How many times Prabhupada is telling? How many times Prahlad Maharaj is telling? So this is what Prabhupada wants. The benefit will be that if her son becomes a strong devotee like Dhruva, certainly not only will he be transferred back home, back to Godhead, but she will also be transferred with him to the spiritual world. Even though she may be unable to undergo austerities and penances in executing devotional service. So this is a very powerful thing which Prabhupada is writing here for all the mothers and how much responsibilities. So actually this training at right time is the most essential thing. So if we have not got, at least we should make facility for the next generation. Our children or their children or other community children. Because why they have to rot in this foolish institutions of slaughter houses, no? What is all useless education which they give, which Prabhupada says. So how important is this training? So Prabhupada is saying directly here, right? So and it's very clear. Actually, this is what Prabhupada wants. Prabhupada, this brahmachari training is a foundation of life. Without that brahmachari training, anyone who goes to any ashram is so called. And this is not my saying. Prabhupada says so. I will show. So I would say for myself, anyone who comes after 25 to brahmachari ashram is a so-called brahmachari. Means what he's trying his best. But brahmachari means brahma acharati iti brahmachari. So so-called brahmachari. And then Prabhupada says, this is the very verse which was spoken today. 1.1.10. See what Prabhupada is saying here. Everywhere he says, yeah, you can see here. In this, please read this, anyone? Consequently,
Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried on that the people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. The student brahmachari communities are no longer being maintained, and householders do not observe the rules and regulations of the Grahasthasrama. Consequently, the so-called Vanaprasthas and sannyasis who come out of such Grahasthasramas are easily deviated from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithful, faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. For the maintenance of such material civilizations, man has formed complex nations and communities.
Yes. So what I was saying is that anyone who has not got this training, which Prabhupada is saying at the age of 5, not at the age of 20 or 25, like what many of us got, that is very good. But that's not the system of Krishna. That's not what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted everyone should get trained in Brahmachari life. And then he becomes proper grihastha, not so-called grihastha. Then he becomes proper brahmachari, not so-called brahmachari. Then he becomes proper vanaprastha, not so-called vanaprastha. Then he becomes proper sannyasi, not so-called sannyasi, who come out of such ashramas. So they again go back, right? So that is happening. You can see it has happened in the past, it is happening presently also. So creation phase was there of Prabhupada. So he gave sannyas, he gave, but that's not, Prabhupada wanted this system. So this is very, very important, which we should be thinking for the future at least. We didn't get, at least why they should get, not get. So the Gurukula and Dharmashrama college and what Varnashram as a society, as an occupation, is very necessary. Please read translation 35.
Dhruva Maharaj thus surpassed the seven planetary systems of the great sages who are known as Saptarshi. Beyond that region, he achieved the transcendental situation of permanent life in the planet where Lord Vishnu lives.
So this is how he reached. So 35. It's already 419. I was thinking that completing the chapter would be like fourth, fifth year. So I'm thinking about what to do. Should we take some discussion or question answer about what we discussed? Because completing, if you want, I can complete also. And if it is possible, then we may complete in the next session. So anyone has any question, clarification about what we discussed today? About Dhruva Maharaj?
Prabhuji,
Yes, Ram
regarding the Gurukul system,
Yes,
we still find that even after so many years of ISKCON,
yes,
my son is just in school only, but generally prefer students, parents or general society prefers a model in which they have both sides, wherein they will have some spiritual side also, but also mainstream education.
yes,
And formal Gurukula has is not common, very few students actually go through that. So, and also I find that not everybody will be suited, per se, for that type of complete Vedic training. So what is the best way out, because we also see that even children who are born in ISKCON, they still do come with previous samskaras also.
exactly. So actually, what you said is very practical, Prabhu, that these are the things, current days things. So we are doing some adjustment. Like BMS is a great success actually, because at least the environment is pure, the teachers are pure, the activities are pure. So it's an adjustment where the both things are required. Even there are Gurukulas which are run by our ISKCON devotees. They are also having this material education along with that. Because it's not easy to remove our faith on this education, because our concern for our children is what how he will earn livelihood. Papi पेट का क्या करेगा? So that much we can't just put a button, have that faith. So it takes time, it takes generations actually to bring out this gradually. Hmm. So that's how current day Gurukulas, like if you go to Vrindavan now, Radhakan Prabhu had come here. So they have Gurukul, they have BGI, they have all options actually for the parents. Wherever you have faith, you put, like now we have here Shriman Bal Govind Prabhu's Gurukul. So they also have that education. I went personally, and I took my brother's son there for 4 days, and he was happy. Of course, he didn't want to go, as you said, right? Everyone is, there are concerns of parents, and there are many factors involved. So we should be family together where these things are taken care, right? That is number two. The second part of the question is the qualification. So that's perfect. The history is not so good because the entry was not so good. The children who are born, we have to see which children are there. Prabhupada said the devotee couple, those who are already devotees and then they conceive the child, that will be different child altogether. He will not be just, by chance production. You know, he will be a conscious production of Garbhadhan, ideally speaking, or something serious, right? The devotees, they receive proper training. So Prabhupada said that they are not ordinary souls. Those who are conceived by sincere devotees, they have practiced bhakti before. That's what sixth chapter Bhagavad Gita says, right? Who takes birth? They are going to continue. They will like bhakti without your having to push them. So the qualification is different. So it depends. So the dangerous things have happened to Western children, and some of them were devotee children, or they were children born before becoming devotee or becoming proper devotee, right? At the proper times, senior most devotee was 10 years, right? So how much you can expect the consciousness of Garbhadhan that time, right? Prabhupada wanted to marry so that they don't do illicit, right? But now the standard is very high. Prabhupada told them to chant 50 rounds at least, right? So if one is doing that, then the product is not ordinary. And that person deserves this training age. Hmm. So we have to see, that's how the way Prabhupada has put this, what is that, four principles, no? This Varnashram is the last one. So when community is building up, now there are already so many devotees, so many children. Right? So devotee children are not ordinary children. That's why whenever I go, I touch their feet actually. Because they have practiced bhakti, 100%. There is no doubt. Prabhupada says that they are, and third generation will be most powerful, Prabhupada says. So devotee children, and now he is nice devotee, and then he has wife, and then they produce, that will be like very powerful. So it is not, we don't have to push, and this preaching is very powerful preaching. To bring a better progeny is a greater preaching than creating numbers, right? Some other religion is doing that. Shriman Krishna Kishore Prabhu was telling in one Sunday Bhagavatam class that the real preaching is to create proper progeny. So these are, so that way, Prabhu, that gradually we move towards there, like, and have faith on this system. And because system is there in theory right now, no one has seen it, right? But we should have faith in the system, and we should have full clarity, understanding of the dangers of the outside education. Hmm. So it's horrible, Prabhu. The occupations are horrible, the content is horrible, content is impractical in many ways. Day to day life, those things are not required for simple life actually. So gradually we have to move towards there. Wherever we are, wherever our faith is, we should move ahead towards the ideal. And in that there will be steps like, BMS is the first step. The next thing will be day school. Next will be a Gurukula with combined both, Next will be like Vedic. So it will take maybe 2-3 decades, We don't know how much time it will take. But this
Yes.
is what Prabhupada wants. So we have to do the needful according to our situation and our. But this is the path, and it will save us. And that children will take the parents back to Godhead. That's what Prabhupada is saying. So
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It was a very nice practical blend and also very good vision also. Thank you.
please pray that this thing happens, Prabhuji. Here, our community is so wonderful, and so many wonderful children are coming up. So they deserve this actually. Thank you. Yes, Yashika Mataji, you have something to say?
यस प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा दाना प्रणाम प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी 34 में एक्चुअली यहाँ पे लिखा है, while boarding the Vaikuntha airplane his body changed to a completely spiritual golden hue। प्रभु जी जैसे आई मीन 1 वीक पहले ना जब महाराज आए थे 17 अप्रैल को इस्कॉन रोहिणी में
नाम क्या
मतलब
है?
गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज जी।
हरि बोल।
हाँ तो जब मतलब वो लोग जाने वाले थे, मतलब 1 वीक पहले जब आए थे
ओपनिंग
रोहिणी
ओपनिंग
टेम्पल में ओपनिंग में, हाँ जी हाँ जी। तो प्रभु जी जो महाराज का जो मतलब ओवरऑल ऑरा था ना, वो मतलब पूरा मतलब वो चेंज था, मतलब उनकी
You could
बॉडी
see that.
वैसे, हाँ हाँ, मतलब स्पेशली जो हेड पार्ट था, मतलब उसमें डिफरेंस पता चल रहा था। मतलब महाराज की जो बॉडी वैसे वाला आपको लगेगी कि डिजीज उसमें अगर होगी, मतलब बट वो लग नहीं रही थी, मतलब वो अंदर से ना मतलब वो अलग ही लग रही थी, मतलब
Yeah, it has to
मतलब
be spiritualized body. There is no doubt about it.
हाँ, मतलब वो डिफरेंस पता चल रहा था, मतलब बीच में जब 1 वीक पहले ही, मतलब
Correct.
तो
Golden, you could see Guru
हाँ।
Maharaj. You could see Param Pujya Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Yes, Mataji, this is the process by which the body is completely spiritualized. Completely spiritualized the body. It's perfectly fine. Amazing. Your personal experience.
प्रभु जी
Just
और ना कुछ मैंने मतलब कुछ डिवोटीज भी देखे हैं, मतलब वो मतलब स्पिरिचुअली इतना ग्रो कर जाते हैं, मतलब वो उनको देख के ऐसा लगा कि ना वैकुंठ से उतर के आए हैं, मतलब इस्कॉन में मैंने कुछ डिवोटीज ऐसे देखे हैं,
yes,
मतलब वो
Mataji. So
देखते ही लगेंगे, मतलब कि ना बिल्कुल वैकुंठ से ही उतर के आ गए हैं।
correct. So that is there, Mataji. So we can appreciate that. However, anyone who lives pure life also, if even if he is not devotee also, he will be effulgent. So we have to be very careful. We can respect because that's a sign of purity. Like you see Shriman Radhesham Prabhu here in Pune, we see such pure personality. So we can see, but he's practicing devotional service, he's preaching devotional service, he's personified. So that also is there. So like that, there will be devotees, and we should understand that that is.
और प्रभु जी कुछ डिवोटीज तो मैंने ऐसे देखे जो मतलब वो कथा करने लगते हैं, उनकी कथा छोड़ने का ही मन नहीं करता, मतलब बोलना शुरू करेंगे, मतलब आपको ऐसे लगेगा कि बस सुनते ही रहो, मतलब कभी चुप ही ना होए।
Wonderful, sir. It's very good. So they are ISKCON devotees katha only, no? So why not?
यस प्रभु जी, बस
Very good. Very, very good. That's fortunate. That's the purpose. Actually, our one devotee, he said, what is ISKCON's main motto? Our Delhi, who is the devotee? Our very wonderful practice. Uh, who is very famous on YouTube? What is his name? I forgot. Uh, from Delhi, from Dwarka. Now he is in. What is Prabhuji? He is very famous.
रुक्मणी कृष्णा प्रभु जी,
हाँ, आपको सुखनी कृष्ण प्रभु is there, but online and all that.
अमोघ लीला प्रभु जी।
Amog Lila Prabhu. Yeah, he says, "Suno, sunao, life banao." This is the main aspect of ISKCON. So I felt actually that is very important. That's what Prabhupada also wanted. But suno means we hear from authoritative sources and we try to practice, and we repeat that. So people will experience, as you are saying. Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Yes, sir. Anything else? Or Shobha Lakshmi Mataji, you have something?
Probably like in ISKCON we follow all very high standards in everything. Like mostly in prasadam also there is such a high standard. And at home we don't eat like that. I mean, at home, the food is very simple. And it is said in this book, like in this chapter, it was written that while going to Vaikuntha, the plane will pass through all the planets. I mean, uh, through Swargaloka also, and
2 times Prabhupada said actually, yeah.
so in the Swargaloka there will be like rivers of mango juice and all these things.
Yeah, everything.
It is going to be so attractive. So,
That's what I'm saying. We have to, before that, we have to hear about it from Bhagavatam and understand the reality of the people who are staying there. Hmm? It's grass is greener on the other side. That's all. So there is river, but that river is temporary. It's long. So that's what has to be accepted because these descriptions are there in Bhagavatam, right? So Bhagavatam, Shravanam and practice will help us to become not inclined and attracted to these aspects. Hmm? At least theoretically and to some extent, some experience, beginning with this world, right? So, like for example, many of us, or some of us, earlier had great attraction for going to US and the places there. Right now, also many of the people have. But having known the reality, what is happening there, it's all glitter and glamour. Just just scratch little bit. No, there is no satisfaction. Forget about happiness. And what about bliss of Krishna consciousness? So this we can understand even in this metal world. And even we can see some rich people who have so many. So I am just bringing the Swarga to metal world. So we try seeing that in the metal world also in that way gradually. So then there is no fear of becoming attracted because we have to become attracted to Krishna, his Nam Rup Gun Lila, and his devotees and their Nam Rup Gun Lila. That's what is our goal of our life. So that is by practice, and that's what Prabhupada said in that purport actually, right? That one has to realize, one realizes the spiritual world and one actually goes there. How one goes? By proper practice of devotional service. So that's what we should strive to do. And essence of that practice is Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chittete Kariyaya. So we try to do that, Mataji. So regarding the standards of prasadam and all that, I don't know why you said that. Means in this context, I am asking, provided we just follow what our spiritual masters are saying, or Prabhupada is saying, that's enough. Krishna is Krishna understands the different situations.
So,
So
Prabhuji, one thought I had was in this question is like even when we are eating prasadam, when we come initially to ISKCON, like full plate we take, and then we are enjoying many dishes, take two, three, four servings. But then over
correct.
a period of years, as the age grows, we understand that the quality of the prasadam is more than just the taste. It is a
Yes.
spiritual value, and over a period of years the senses also tend to retire. The gusto with which we eat food when we are 20-year-old versus
Hmm.
when we eat when you're 40, the senses slowly, so the sense attraction will become lesser and lesser as one advances. In fact, that is a sign of advancement in spiritual life. And therefore, when one passes through the higher planets, even if they see such beautiful things like, Mataji said that very beautiful rivers of juices, and
Gardens,
they will not
rivers,
get attracted. They will
opposite.
simply understand from they'll be on the Brahma Bhuta stage already. And that is
Exactly.
our quest actually.
Yes. Yes, bro. Well said. However, one thing I want to say is that even the senses will become old, bro, but the mind taste has to change because we know that, na, that Abgar story that what higher taste has to be acquired. Param duštva nivartate. It is not just person becomes old, everything becomes old. No.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That endeavor is obviously there.
yes, so the endeavor and the experience of higher taste, then
Yeah,
other things become detestable, right?
correct, correct,
So
correct.
we should be sincere and serious on our path and follow those who are like spiritual masters, who are perfected. For them, material happiness is inexistent. Rup Goswami says that. The sadhana stage, material happiness becomes inferior, as you said, right? Inferior. You say inferior. Our happiness of bhakti and material happiness is also good, but it is inferior. And one reaches bhava stage, it becomes insignificant. Like moksha lagutakrut. Even spiritual happiness is insignificant. What to speak of material happiness? But in prema stage, the people who are at love of God, as we can say, Parampuja Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, while sleeping, he was worshipping the deity, right? Many of you know. So, what is level of consciousness? So, for them, the material pleasure is not existing only, inexistent. Although they are seeing, for them it doesn't exist. So that is their vision. So this is the progress of experience. Sandrananda Vishishatma means what? The pleasure is so thick. Like you put water, example is given, you throw water, it will be having bubbles. But if you put honey, it will be like, no. So like that their experience of Sandrananda, very condensed happiness, cannot be pierced by anything. So such people, we have to hold their feet and take bath in their personality of Vaishnavism. And that's what is meaning of, what is that? Mm. Taking bath in their dust of feet. So if we just try to remain at their feet, try to please them and try to glorify them, then there is no kind of concern which Mataji is very honestly expressing, because this very honest thing, even I was thinking, my Lord, you have to be very careful. Little bit you feel immediately will be there. Okay, go there. So that is the case. And and one thing to add in that is Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, that the initial person, like person in initial stages, if he has such desires or attractions and he happens to leave the body, then he will enjoy those pleasures in Swarga. He will become disgusted there. Till that time he will stay there. Not Shine Punya Matlokam Vishanti. Till the time वो उब जाता है उससे नहीं चाहिए बस हो गया अभी. Then he will continue and go back to Godhead, or he will take birth in Shuchinam Shrimata. And someone who is very advanced, he will immediately take birth in devotee family, immediately, next life. So he doesn't have that desire. So this is a gradual progress, and the bhakti path is very, so many people are walking and they are experienced, so we just follow their footsteps, Mataji, and everything will be proper. That is reflection. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else has anything what we discussed today? I am very
Yeah,
grateful to all. Yes.
अभी फिफ्थ कैंटो में भी आएगा शुगर केन
ये
वाला
सब डिस्क्रिप्शन
लिकर
आएगा
वाला. हाँ.
बिड़स स्वर्ग का डिस्क्रिप्शन आएगा, है ना, भौम स्वर्ग का आएगा और दिव्य स्वर्ग का आएगा, और बहुत अट्रैक्टिव है, बहुत कुछ.
जम्बूदीप वाला हो गया.
Yes. So we just hear that and become detached from that gradually. Bhagavatam is our eyes for all these 14 planetaries. We don't have to go. It will take us there and tell us that this is also useless. This is not much. They have also problems there, What problems you have here, similar are there. Only lifespan is long, that's all. So that way Bhagavatam is sufficient for all. So thank you. I am very grateful to each one of you, because actually these purports now which I read today, some of them I have not read earlier. I read with you only. So I am very grateful to you. I have read the further purports which I felt very important. So next class we will have those purports. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.